I'd love to get an idea of just what everyone does as far as sort of, just so I can kind of tailor a little bit. So who's an SEO? Okay, and then paid marketing, same hands. Strategy, same hand. Oh, more strategy. Okay, cool. Design, no designers, kinda, yeah. Copywriters, awesome. And what, growth marketing? Yeah. Automation, I knew you did one. Automation, 2 automations, cool. All right, excellent. So that's not working. Yeah, I'm Greg Dixon. I brand myself under Bridge Media, but I do a lot of stuff and work for different clients or in-house or whatever. But sort of about 15 years in digital marketing. I was born and bred in Christchurch, but spent most of my working career in the UK, and I've been back for about 2 years. And I've worked in all areas of digital, from design to strategy to copy to everything. That sort of jack of all trades, master of none type scenario. But yeah, I'm sort of more heading towards growth now, growth marketing, sort of helping with lead gen and in financial services. That's sort of where I've ended up, which is great. I'm really quite enjoying it. So what reason for this talk and sort of why I've kind of gone down this AI route is the full stack marketing, digital marketing is just like, it's an impossible job now. Like you're expected to be everything, because that's those ones there, you've got to understand tracking, you've got to understand paid, you've got to understand social content, SEO, and then the actual technicals of how it all works. Now, good clients understand that that isn't all one person, but most of them don't, and most of us will just say yes to stuff to get the work, and then try to realize that we don't know it or don't know it well enough. And you could kind of bullshit your way through it for a while, but it's sort of, you do get to a point where it's like, that is the bit that holds you back on your actual growth in your career. So where AI has kind of come in is, it's given us the ability to scale ourselves and fill in all those gaps really well. But you need a team, which is why we're talking about this today. Now, there's so many reasons to have an AI team. For me, the biggest one is you can scale without financial burden, because it's like employees or even contractors or even bringing people in just changes the commercials of a deal, of a contract as well. It's just like it just doesn't make sense really quickly. So I'm going to go really quickly so we can spend more time at the fun bit. So this is just kind of to getting you an idea of what it is. So what sort of teams would you have? What can they do? They can do all of this. What I've found is where the biggest wins are these two. And that could be because I'm rubbish at it, but may not be. But where you have your market research and, say you get a new client, you do competitor analysis, you find out about the market, you find out people, what the triggers are, what the hooks are, you build up your campaign. That can take 2-3 months, if you're doing it properly, and it's like so you're not actually doing any client work, client's not seeing any results. So, you start having those difficult conversations if you haven't preempted them in the beginning. So and the benefit of doing the market research and the competitive analysis is that actually creates the seed for the AI. You're able to build the context window big enough with enough data about that client or that market that your results just go through the roof. Because of them, I hope probably everyone's played with AI, yeah. And you do some work in it and you put it in, the results a bit meh. You kind of don't really get what you want from it, because you're dealing with a large language model that knows everything about everything, that if you don't bring it down to a certain point of what you want it to talk about, then it's just going to go out here. So by doing the research and putting the guardrails in the beginning, that puts it down a path that makes it understand and gets you the better results. So Right. What I've done is the main thing we're talking about today is like meta prompting, and meta prompting is I'll show you one. It's quite a long prompt that breaks it all down into parts. So what I've done is a hypothetical situation. I've got a new client who's a KiwiSaver provider. They're new to the market, and the target market is product aware, in the market awareness bucket. Who's read Breakthrough Advertising? Okay, usually try and get it out. It's a great book if you want to understand about market awareness. It's amazing. Basically, what that means is that the market has heard all the claims before. So if you think about, the amount of KiwiSaver advertisers that are out there, everyone knows a KiwiSaver, everyone knows who to get a KiwiSaver from. So if you're trying to market to these people, what is that difference? It's a tough crowd to kind of crack because everyone knows and everyone's heard all the claims. So let's have a look at what a competitor is doing. So what the two pieces of information that we give the AI is a copy of their landing page and then the prompt. And that's the prompt. So
Greg, do you think you can zoom in a little bit?
I can give it a go.
Can everyone see?
Yeah. Well, we've got a little bit of cut off there. So basically this prompt breaks down the analysis. And don't worry about this too much. I'm going to show you how to build these. We're going to use AI to actually build one of these prompts, which gets kind of quite wild. So you're basically asking all these questions and for all these things to do it. So you're giving it tasks. You're setting the experts of who you want them to talk to. These guys here. And then what happens is within that prompt, they'll have conversations with each other, and they'll come out with the research from there. And then you're able to, once you seed the context, you're actually able to ask questions to the different experts, and it'll give you the answers, which gets quite interesting. And then you're able to then build your report and your initial market analysis from there. So that's what I said to it. Please run the full analysis. I want to hear from all the experts. And then this dude is my favorite one because he comes out with some really cool ideas. And has that come up? Yes, it has. So this is where we get decision points, valuation phase, research phase, awareness. So what this is basically we're trying to find out what goes through the mind of a consumer when they're thinking about KiwiSaver. And if you look at that, I keep pushing this to the back of my mind, but it keeps popping up. My parents are asking me if I'm saving enough. My friends are talking about their investments. If you think about that as a hook and an ad, that's just written it for you. And to get that sort of knowledge, that takes a lot of time and an understanding of the market. And that was done, I won't run it because let's run it actually. This is where it breaks. And the nice thing is that you get a slightly different answer every time you do it. So yeah, that's boring just looking at that. Let's go back to this. So that's what this prompt sort of does. Now what you can do is you can build different teams that do different things.
So is that what you were talking about as well, by having a team? You were saying within your prompt, you're creating personas or buyer personas, and then you're able to query them and find out how they are going to view this from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you're creating a team like if you think of like a pod in an agency, you have SEO, copy, paid, strategy, design, and then those 5 people, they all work together on a campaign. They come out with the results. We're putting that into AI. but you're taking it from, you can put anyone in it. You know, like, and it's like you just use your imagination of who you want to do it. And I'll show you something really cool in a minute. So key components of meta prompt. So you've got a team of experts and their roles, the understanding, how to write the findings, the way to check. I won't worry about that because we're going to build one in a sec, and we'll use a prompt to actually build a prompt. So first thing we need to do is building the team. That's the prompt to build the team. I'm building a prompt to help me with Google Ads. I need your help finding a team. So we run that, and then we go to Google Ads team. So who wouldn't love that in their agency? One of those people in everything. Yeah? Get where I'm going with this? Yeah. And now, let's build the prompt. So I've got a GitHub which I'll share. I've got an email. Just send me an email, and I'll send you the GitHub where it's got this base prompt. So, want to create a meta prompt based on a meta prompt template below. There's the experts, and that's the template there. So what it's going to do is it's going to take that and then use that as the framework to actually build the prompt. And then you can then use that to build whatever team you want. And just use play. Just play around, move it around, find out whatever your results are, whatever you're trying to do. And that is the prompt that you can use it for. That's me. So what we can do, should we use that prompt and do some stuff?
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds
Maybe
good.
come up with a scenario or something.
Yeah. I might let someone else do the public typing, but. Right. Actually, let me just unplug for a minute, because I've got, off that same company that we did the template from, I actually saw their Facebook ad. So let's put that in there and see what we can run from Google Ads.
Do you think you could share the slides with us?
100%. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll email it out to everyone here. Steal all the prompts.
Is everyone building a prompt library for themselves? Something to think about. What's that? You got that? Yeah.
I've got some for SEO.
Right, so I can't find that, sorry. So, I can't see that. So because we've got the basis of the big prompt, we can be really daft with our main prompts, and it's just going to understand it. And then so what we're doing is we're getting it saying, right, this is for a KiwiSaver client. Let's get the big work done. And if we can remember who, then we can look at. All right. So you see the question that's asking? Oh, okay, sure, go back up. So what it does is the prompt is then asking these questions to the CRO specialist, who will then go and find out. Then it'll report back. So you can kind of have these conversations, and then like once you get, if you're not quite happy with the results, you can ask someone else to come in, or you can say, right, I want this person, this person, this person to do this. You know, and the best thing about the reason why I use Claude is it's the only one that's got really good vision. So you can basically take a screenshot of a page or another ad and say, right, take this, make it better. So like if you're looking at, so from a design point of view or for a conversion optimization, is he saying, right, have a look at this, how can I make it better? You know, or look at this landing page, because if you look at a lot of the other models are saying they'll just look at the text of the page, but you lose so much of the visual optimization of when a page is a full page. So by having it actually is full, and it'll read the words off it and give you full feedback from there.
So you found that the image that you upload on the page or what have you is, it's not just picking up the text in it, it's also looking at layout and design and
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I sent you one when we started talking about this. Yeah, I just did it on as a website, and it was good, wasn't it?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to test their own site now? Or their own businesses? Anybody?
And this is, yeah. So this is kind of like, this is,
Let's pick another marketing agency that's not here.
yeah.
Or
Let's go with Concentrate. They live next door. They've never come along. You could pick one of their pages.
Right, so this was the full one for the KiwiSaver. So then you can go down to here, because it understands the market. Right, here's your hooks, and then you're able just to test those for, like think of that from like a landing page optimization point of view, or you just or even just ideas. And you're able. The whole thing with the, like I'm doing this quite heavily on the research side of things, but if you're looking at web copy or blog copy or anything like that, you use the same thing. You build the team of writers, researchers, SEO specialists, link builders, and then you ask it to do the research, write the introduction. The introduction then leads on to the next paragraph, and that is a trick with one of the things I found with good SEO content is, instead of asking it to do the whole thing, is chunk it down. So then you go do the research, get the titles, then do each of the titles after that. So you just kind of break it down. So it understands the topic of it so much more, and you get a better result from there, instead of trying to get it to do all the whole article, because it just gets quite lost. Yeah.
So would you be able to do that then? So should we just pick a site, and if you
Yeah.
either an image or whatever you would like for it, you could pick Concentrate, or you can pick University of Canterbury. Just grab one of them. Just to kind of see what we could ask.
How about Mint Design? Anyone work there?
No, you can choose.
you can use Mint Design.
Yeah, that's right. There's a great little plugin that will just do full screen like this. I just need to download that. There's technical, so you need it to be need to make it a little bit smaller because it needs to be about 900 wide. Otherwise, it gets too big for Claude. So let me just fix that. And has anyone got any questions while I'm doing this?
I'm curious to see how you get the experts to talk to each other.
Okay. Alright, so 2 pieces. I don't put anything in there because the first response is always a bit garbage. So it always tries to do something overly clever. Sorry, you got to, yeah, so there's this period of where we're just kind of seeding it all. So you're kind of seeding the knowledge base, essentially. So it's got to learn, and it's got to get everyone sort of talking and thinking, and then now we can go into some questions. So please pick 3 experts of your choice. Rewrite the page for the target market. How many spelling mistakes are in that? Loads. Can't remember what the current one's like. So if we look at this from a copy point of view, this is their current site. What do you think, like, is that main hook? Which one would you go for? Anyone?
Do you mean what are they currently going for? Or
No, which, if you were like a potential client for Mint,
yeah.
what would you get more excited about? What would you be more encouraged to actually click? Stop wasting your time on marketing that doesn't work, or reclaim marketing time back in your business growth?
I like the one that the AI is more talking to it.
100%.
It's just talking about itself
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah,
With the on copy.
100%.
Yeah.
Expect more from your marketer. Well, why? Just do the job. See? You're tired of marketing that drains your budget, feeling left behind by your competitors, your path to predictable growth. To me, like it is quite a direct response type marketing, but
I would say it depends on who your buyer persona is as well, right?
Mhm.
So, because direct is probably aiming for, and there's something because we're thinking about obviously because we're an agency. You know, direct is more about smaller companies, I would say, that are just looking to get an outcome, a result,
Yeah.
get some leads.
Yeah.
Versus what Mint are proposing, which is we're augmenting a team.
Yeah.
And adding skills to a team that you currently don't
Yeah.
have. So that's more about they're selling to a marketing professional versus this is selling to a small business owner. That's my own perception.
Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah, and it's well, let's
Could you give that as feedback?
let's find out. There you go. Boom. All right.
So could you ask it then, how would you change that
That's
up?
what I'm about to do. Scale this to large businesses. I'm very dyslexic, so that's why my typing's appalling. So, but this is why I also love AI because it can read my terrible typing. Yeah, but it's still aiming at the outcomes, not the us, which is the difference between it too. So it's kind of like it's definitely changed it. So this is the thing. You can massage it, and you're not having to. We've all worked in this sort of space, so like to sit there and write all that out, and that's. And go on a completely different angle. That's a couple of, potentially days with the research as well, because you've got to find out who the market is and what are the triggers, and that's less than 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Once you've got that prompt, and then you can reuse those prompts for everything else. To give you.
Is that what Claude is doing as well? Is building? You've given it a web page, and so it's building a web page.
Yeah, I don't. That's a weird Claude thing that it's really pushes it towards creating the page at the moment, which is really annoying. I normally just say, just give me the text.
Yeah.
But it just loves coding, so it loves creation. It's a sort of, it is what it is. And these prompts work on all models. But there's like different formatting that you got to think about when you're jumping between models. Claude, when they scraped everything, they used XML. So if you put it in an XML markup, it works better. ChatGPT works on Markdown, if you're just using so you can break it down the headers and actually format it properly. Within Markdown, it works a lot better. So you want it to structure the prompt as it comes down, so it knows what to do. So
Let's ask their SEO expert what they would do to improve the page.
Right, so this is a different prompt.
How's it?
Yeah.
Is he not part of that team?
No,
Okay. Well,
but I've got one. So anyone heard of Core? Yeah. So that is all his course put into a prompt, into a knowledge base.
How's that?
So if you, yeah. So if you want just, right, this is what it is. If you want to, so let's create a topical map. That takes all of its bits and puts it in the right format and the right connections, micro and macro content, and it just pulls it all out.
Where did you get the, I mean, his course exists, presumably it's like video or something?
Yeah, so I bought the course
Yeah.
and went through the course. So, and then I downloaded all the videos, pulled the audio, transcribed it, and then put it in. Yeah. Well, an automation did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it's so that's, you know, and then you've got that as a base to work off. What else have we got? The schema one's pretty cool. The GTP, yeah. You know, Google Tag Manager. It's a complete pain in the ass to try and work out what you need to do. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like get this to do it. And it's all there. It just, you know, you can give it, because it's completely personalised to you. So it's just like that is your tracking team.
So you've taken a course that you've found or downloaded or transcribed,
Not
and
all.
then set it up as an expert, and then you can go and just ask it how to do things. Is that?
No, because I built a prompt
Yeah.
that the team is a tracking expert team, and then I'll just say, right, here's my problem, fix it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like this is the code, this is what I need to do. Screenshot where I am in GTM or analytics or whatever, and it'll just work it out for me. The Core A thing, that's exactly what I did. But you'll see here what, you know, like I had internal documents, so SOPs and stuff like that I just load up. So, you know, if you've got SOPs within your business, you know, put that in it, and then get the AI to do the SOP, because that's the task, you know. And you say, right, who normally does that task? They're your experts, you know. Upscale it a little bit, because it's like, well, you know, here's your dream team. You can put whoever you want in there, but just do this repeatable task all the time. And yeah, reporting. You know, I did a thing today where I had a quiz funnel, and I was trying to find drop-offs where it was, but it's like I think it's about 160 node quiz, you know, but so trying to work out all the flows of where everyone could go was a nightmare. Threw it into Claude, and it just spat it all out in order for me. And then we found 2 or 3 massive holes in a funnel that we were dropping like 40% of potential leads. And, you know, and it would have taken ages to do that. So it's sort of like just, you know, and Google Ads reporting, just upload it all and start asking it questions, because you've got that team. You build the team, and then you can, as a, you know, like if you don't understand or you don't know what to ask, you know, it's going to be useless. But if you know your job and you know what you kind of do, it's just a better version of you.
Have you come across something as well for like creating training material? So let's say you were hiring an intern.
Yeah.
And you needed to train them up on everything.
Yeah.
You know, what's the most, if you think about it, you know, how you've learned things, but then, you know, how is AI helping you or could help you and them to get them up to speed as quickly as possible?
All right. Not quite your use case, but much the same. So my kid is like skipped a year because they're good at English, not quite good enough for maths for the year that they skipped into. So we created a project prompting where it'll go through, where I'll upload a copy of the workbook, turn this into an interactive game. We gamify it, They love it. They do maths. Yeah, it's, you know,
And, so this is where it's turned it into a page over here.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's actually.
So, but that's the same sort of thing as from your intern thing. You know, you're going to have internal processes that you go through, that your staff do, but you want to break it down as saying, right, here's how we do new client onboarding, yeah, and this is how you do it, you know, and it would be like, because you can go, instead of going, right, we go to the CRM, we set up this, we do that, right, the CRM is HubSpot, create a new client, create a step-by-step guide to do all of this for them, and it'll just go off and do it. And then that is, you know, so you take something that's in your brain that you just do automatically, and then just kind of make it really vague, and it'll just fill the gaps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And is Claude pretty good at like distinguishing? No, I just mainly focus on ChatGPT, but is it pretty good at distinguishing, you know, when something is a number versus
Yep.
language?
Yep.
And so it knows that 41 times 2 is not some random word that it comes up with.
Yeah.
Like ChatGPT used to.
Yeah. So I use both, and to be honest, ChatGPT is like the newer models are wild. They're so good, but I still think Claude is a better thinker. It can think through problems better, but it doesn't have reasoning yet. But the thing I find with the reasoning at the moment with these meta prompts is it tries to do too much, and then it gets itself a little bit lost from there because there's so much information. If you're going to use reasoning models, then you really need to break it down and break the problem down into smaller chunks, and then that is, you know, understanding the processes of what you do, and that's how you know from there. So it's sort of like you need to have a look. Yeah, I think to prompt well in ChatGPT is you need to understand it a lot better. You need to understand the problem and the steps a lot better, where Claude will kind of fill the gaps a little bit for you. It's a bit more forgiving, I think. So some of the you know, I mentioned some of the things I'm working on from a commercial element is, you know, like lead nurture, like one-to-one lead nurture at scale. So leads come in, not ready to buy. We've learned information about them. We create a series of emails just for them based on the information they've shared, and then you can just put that into a drip campaign and just let it run, and we can hit different buying points along the way. So instead of like currently without AI, you're creating a lead nurture campaign which is one to many. So it's like, you know, there's nothing personalized about it. You know, your deliverability is terrible because it's, you know, one to many, where this is one to one. So you get around the spam filters, and you get to talk to a consumer on their level with their knowledge, and then you're able to feed back that information as well. So you're building that context. So this angle didn't work, or this angle didn't get an open, or didn't get a click. So take that to consideration for the next email, and let's try, and then so it can work out the next steps along the way.
Integrated with one of these.
Yeah. If I'm invited, I'm going to come back and talk about automation. We were talking about N8N the other day, which is like it can do all of that, and then that can, you can just daisy chain everything along. It's kind of like which the APIs and it just links into all the language models itself. It's kind of like a Zapier on steroids. And it's free, which is even better. It's like open source. So N8N. So it's N number 8N. And it's self-hosted and it's like. Anyone else? It's all very quiet.
What's your favorite prompting go-to resource, like marketing specific, digital marketing specific?
AIs. I just ask that. Here's what I'm trying to do. Create me a prompt for that. Follow best practices for X model, and it'll generate what you want it to do. You know, I don't prompt at all. I always just get the prompt to create a prompt. And you can get, where it gets interesting is because you can say, right, this was, if you find one that you know that works for you, but it isn't quite exactly what you want it to do, so it might be great at, say, whatever. You can take that and say, right, this is the framework, this is how I want it to work, but I want it to do this, and then it'll recreate it in that format. You know, and the other, you know, and even for images, you know, get the AI to write you a prompt for a image prompt.
I've been doing that with Midjourney.
Yeah.
I'll go around to ChatGPT in one tab and plug another Perplexity in
Yeah.
another, DeepSeek in another,
Yeah.
and say, hey, I'm writing, I need a featured image to accompany this article.
Yeah.
Here's the text, write me a Midjourney prompt. And then I copy all 4 of those prompts and I paste them all into Midjourney, and then I've got 16 images of different styles to choose from.
And it's good that you're using all the different models as well, because it's like you get different. Yeah, it's a different
Different
response.
strengths,
Yeah.
and they all change.
Yeah. Well, like if you're doing content, if you're doing web content, you know, always start with Perplexity to actually get your research stage, because that just, you know, it's got all the latest information. And then if you're able to do, if you're wanting to do like SEO analysis, you know, use that, because it's got crawlers and, you know, you can go and search the web as well. And then you're taking that data and then putting it in something else. I don't think it's as clever as the other ones yet. And even when you run like DeepSeek and Perplexity, it's sort of not quite the same. But I think the big thing for me is that you can get really hung up on the models. They all kind of do the same thing. You know, it's not like Bing and Google. There's not like a massive difference between the two, or between any of them anymore. They're all kind of catching up, but they all do things slightly different. So it's whatever you end up liking. Yeah.
So when I'm using ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
usually I've given a story about my character.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing email marketing for one of the companies, I had given them the story of a character
Mm-hmm.
who is sending an email to them.
Perfect.
So ChatGPT has this thing that it gets its memory updated. So
Yep.
every time I don't have to give it a story, it already knows who I'm talking about.
Yep.
I just have to give the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then it writes me an email for that. So does this Claude has the similar
Yeah.
memory update?
Yeah. So it's like, is that through projects within ChatGPT?
No,
No, just
not-
is it okay?
I was
So you can do. Yes, it does, but I do it through projects. So you actually create like custom knowledge, and then what that is it really fine tunes it within that. ChatGPT's got the same thing, but you could also make a custom GPT. So like custom GPT is like here's your ICP, ideal customer profile. This is who it is, and then you dump that in, and then that is always, and it'll bring the guardrails down. Right, this is who I'm just talking to. But it's also quite good to remind it through the prompts that that's how it goes, because it kind of forgets. So if you're going back and saying, yeah, make sure you're speaking to this person. You know, remember who you're speaking to. Check that this resonates with this ICP. But yeah.
Cool. Any last questions for Greg? Nice one.
Right. Cool. I've got, I'll send those to you, and you can, yeah. And any questions, just, I've got my email on the slide, so just send it over if you want any other prompts or anything like that, just let me know. But I think the big thing is just play around with it and just ask. Just use the AI to fill your knowledge gaps about it. So yeah. Cool, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
thing you were talking